helping people to get employed, because I've never been employed myself. Every time I apply for a job, I get an email saying, I'm sorry, you're not successful because you don't have experience. Well, how am I supposed to get experience in the first place?
Sometimes the greatest change begins with one person brave enough to share their truth. Today's guest, Kerryn Burgoyne, is an inspiring voice for autism awareness, education, and inclusion. Diagnosed on the autism spectrum, Kerryn has turned her personal challenges into purpose, creating online courses, building a YouTube channel, and developing resources that help others understand autism from the inside out. Her story is one of resilience and determination, showing that even when the world says no, she can still crave her own path, lead with purpose, and make a difference. Kerryn, welcome to Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're most welcome, Kerryn. So, Kerryn, you've been so open about your journey with autism spectrum disorder. Can you take us back to what growing up on the spectrum was like for you?
So I was diagnosed at the age of 30, which back in the early 2000s, it wasn't known back then. So I'll just close these windows down. So growing up, nothing was known about it. Mum was told you're an over-anxious person, she'll grow out of it, she's just immature. And she never did. Mum always knew there was something wrong, but nothing happened. And when we finally heard about it, a friend of Mum just rang her up and said, Bev, get on Channel 9. There's a story on 60 Minutes about Asperger's syndrome, and I think it could be about Kerryn. Mum's mouth just went. And that just gave her the answers. So we sought some help, and from a psychotherapist at the time, and he recommended me to another psychologist. So Mum said it was the best $400 she'd ever spent.
Yeah.
And got the diagnosis, and I felt really strange having that at the time. I didn't quite comprehend what it was. And I said, feel good, and I feel bad. And they said, why do you feel good? And I said, because I've got that. And they had to explain, because I didn't have any feelings or empathy or compassion. And they said, do you feel good because you've got that diagnosis, that name to your condition now? And I said, yes. And they said, why do you feel bad? And I said, because of all the things I've done to people. I want to go around and I want to mend them.
Yeah.
And said bad things that I didn't intend to do, that I couldn't intentionally stop, because my brain was taking over my whole body, and anything that just came out was shameful and hurtful to that person, and I upset them, and I didn't understand or couldn't comprehend why I did that. So some people were really good about mending the bridges, and they were like, yeah, but I won't have much to do with you. Others were, yes, I'll welcome you back and give you a second chance. And this then started, I wanted to write a story about myself. And I started to do poetry and started to learn how to colour in and draw and everything. I haven't had a chance to draw it yet. But I started to write a course book called The Goal. And then had a computer in my room, and I said to Mum, I want to start writing something. Well, every single moment of my time was filled up with that, and just going to different places and having a freight train and a swimming pool. Well, the more freight you have on the back of a train, the more locos you need to pull it, because it's so heavy. And you might need locos in the middle to push the load, and locos at the end to push the whole train. And then a swimming pool is how deep I went. So I went 10 metres deep, or even 100 metres deep, 100 feet deep, that sort of thing. But that's how deep I was. And I had to swim to the top of the surface. Now, I've learned over time that I've had to sink or swim. throw me in the deep end. I've learned to sink or swim in a lot of situations,
Yeah.
particularly during COVID and particularly during a work situation. But I had a dream that I was the baby chained up in the nappy, and it was really dark green water, and I had to go through a tunnel, which is what the goal is based on. So that's available on my website. And then I followed, had to go through these baby steps and literally go through my life journey, which I did between 30 and 35, 40. I did 10-year life journey.
Yeah.
And then I felt like my life began at 40.
Yeah.
But there was still a lot of development I had to do and a lot of things I had to learn. And I had to learn a lot of social skills, and I had to do that and be exposed by experience. And that was quite difficult for me to do.
Yeah.
And I went through a lot of churches, but I've never been accepted into society until now. But it's just made me wanted to be more passionate and start my business in public speaking, but also developing training and resources for others.
Yeah.
I felt that was my call and purpose to life.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Kerryn. So it must have given you such an insight and understanding of why you did things to get that diagnosis. But just feeling a little bit further back in your childhood, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced, especially when it came to education, work, or being understood by others? Because as you said, back then there wasn't a lot of understanding, and it sounds like that there was a lot of challenges for you.
School was the hardest part because back then, as I said, autism wasn't known. But I flourished with a one-to-one tutor. They give me one-to-one tutor and I could learn a lot because I couldn't understand that class environment. But I was always bullied and teased for being so different. But also I had things go missing in high school. I was sent to Mum made the mistake of not sending me to high school with my sister because she was like my best friend at the time, and she wanted to branch off and meet other friends and everything. But then the school I went to was 38 girls against 450 boys until it became co-ed in 1980. So I had pens and pencils missing, and my pencils were like this big when they came back, and my ruler was like this big when it came back, and I had my lunch thrown in the bin. Everyone went through my bag. I couldn't ask for anything because my auntie lived across the road. That was my safe haven until Mum came, and she drove me home and drove me to school most days, and I had to wait there until she picked me up. And I tried to ride my bike and I wanted to get home, but then I'd hide in the back shed until such time as when Mum came home from work or something. And I always kept the curtains closed and kept peering out the window until I heard that rumble of the car coming up the drive. But school I couldn't really learn much, but I was more the hands-on person. So I felt that this was the start of me learning.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand the stuff we learn in English or maths or anything. That didn't make sense to me at all. But the hands-on physical stuff like woodwork, sheet metal, typing, driver education, home economics, things I did physically, I sort of understood them, but I was living in a child's mind, so I would watch a lot of Sesame Street and Play School to understand what neighbourhoods were, how to count again, but I related to that because that's where I was at the time, and that's how I related to that play school and that romper room and all the kids shows on the ABC at the time. That's where I actually related. So that's what I actually watched on TV. Aside from Prisoner. I love Prisoner.
So did I. I was a big fan of Prisoner growing up. So, Kerryn, it's just heart-wrenching to hear how your story and about how cruel children can be to other children because of the lack of understanding. But despite all those challenges and cruelty, you've built something powerful. What inspired you to start creating your own courses and sharing your story online?
As I said, it was I just had the urge to write something, and I had a desktop computer in my room. Spent a lot of time on the internet back then, learning about things. I think I've learned a lot over my time. But just writing that first course book, but then writing the second book, The Power of Positivity, And then I took them to a now former CEO who worked for what was called Alpha Autism. And Alpha Autism was the only first and only employment agency for people on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
That was around 1990.
Yeah.
1990, I think, I went there. And I had no social skills whatsoever, and I'm always standing back against the wall, freezing, and they were saying, come on, let's enjoy this. But I didn't realise I had so many high anxieties at the time, which I still do at times, to try and join in. But I wanted to join in and ask questions, and they praised me for just even asking that particular question, but that was my first exposure to that particular thing.
Yeah.
So I went down to Port Melbourne, which is in our Bayside suburb, not far from the city. This is actually Altona, so it's not far around the bay, right closer to the city. It's about 6 k's. And she worked there, and she said, you should sell these online and start a business. Because I was working as a lollipop lady at the time, a school crossing supervisor. I wanted something to do with my time. So I went to TAFE, and I've done a lot of study at TAFE over my time as well. And I started that business course, and I got my business in my domain. I don't know how I did it. I just looked things up on the internet and found a domain name, which is KTalk, and then found found a hosting company by mistake. I always find things by mistake. I always go with them. And then built a website using QCart, which I didn't even know how to do. And all of a sudden it was bang, 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 and I've got this website up, and setting up the email was like, blimey, I've actually literally got skills that I'm actually doing. And then it just went from there, and I started, and she invited me to a thing down in Heatherton, down in the southeastern suburbs or southwest suburbs, whatever. Yeah. And from there I went to I started to get all the schools and sat here on my computer constantly in libraries, just getting constant lists of schools and making up lists and lists and lists of mental health networks, and started to write the third book, which was called Aspectism for Teens and Adults, which I've just revised in 2024. Yep. And then I thought, I'm going to write something on employment because there's nothing out there at the time. So I kept doing this until about 2014, and then they want people with pieces of paper. So I had to shut my business down, but I felt the urge there to come back. Yeah. And then during COVID, I had that itch because I was going to upgrade my Set 4 in workplace training and assessment. And then 23, I joined Speakers Bank, which was part of Anecdo, which is now also closed down. That was a supporting agency down here for aged care and disability. And for 2 years, I was part of that and did a couple of speaking gigs. And now I'm part of a disability network in the western suburbs.
Yeah. So just with your public speaking, Kerryn, what fueled your dream of becoming a public speaker, and what message do you want to share with your audiences?
My dream, well, I'm an international, sorry about that, just come in. My dream is to become a worldwide speaker like Temple Grandin. Yep. But to just give it from, I want to reach out to many employers as possible, many people as possible, and tell them about the difficulties of not being accepted. See, that big word is acceptance, and I was never accepted. I've never been accepted. Sometimes by family, some family members are okay with me now, but other family members I don't really have much to do with. But it's that typical word of acceptance and understand and knowledge and empowerment and impact that I want to make to other people. Yeah. And the more you could hire at the MCG down here, which holds 120,000 people, I'd be right there standing in the middle of it and giving my story and making all those people cry, because that's what I can do. That's how I can touch so many people. So my dream, my goal is to work with so many people and to sell more courses online and to write more. If this is my passion, this is my my area of life or expertise.
Yeah.
I don't have the pieces of paper that people are looking for, but I've got a wealth of knowledge that I can share with others as long as I get paid for it and not have to pay for it. But my dream is to empower many people and to help them on their life journeys as well, because if I can do it, anyone else can.
So true, Kerryn, so true. And you've got that lived experience, as you said there. So you've developed online courses and your YouTube channel. What topics do you focus on and what do you hope people take away from your content?
There's two there on solving your own life issues. So that's literally looking for what's stopping you from making your life more positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other four are more based on mental health, autism and mental health, but employment.
Yeah.
But I'm more into just helping people achieve their dreams and goals, because as I said, if I can do it, anyone else can. But my passion is more working with those who want to make something of their lives, but also helping people to get employed, because I've never been employed myself. Because every time I apply for a job, I get an email saying, I'm sorry, you're not successful because you don't have experience. Well, how am I supposed to get experience in the first place? But my dream goal is to help those to help themselves and realise and achieve their own goals in life and exceed their own expectations. So the areas that I want to focus on are more employment, individuals, families, employers, anyone else who just wants to do my courses, hire me and I can do Zoom or Teams. But more.
So just on your education approach, how do you approach educating people about autism, especially for those who may not fully understand it yet? So can you talk us through about your approach of how you educate people about it?
Autism. I generally just focus on my own life, so I can write any topic that you'd like me to do. I'm currently doing one for outdoor and education, recreation sports. So I wasn't really a sports fanatic myself. I was into doing my own thing outdoors, swimming at a beach, just doing things that I want to do. How do I approach? Well, currently what I'm doing is I'm approaching a lot of the churches around the world because I developed a training package for an Anglican diocese in a particular state, and that gave me the empowerment. Well, if we're doing it for our diocese, why not do it for everyone else and help them as well? So my approach is, sorry, I've forgotten the question. I'm trying to concentrate.
That's all right. That's all right, Kerryn. So again, for parents, teachers and friends who want to better support someone on the spectrum. What's one simple thing they can do differently starting today?
It's one thing they want to do starting today.
Yeah. Just from your experience, what's one thing?
Step out of their own shoes and into their sons or daughters or the individual who's living with the diffability, is what I like to call it, diffability. And learn how they're living their lives and accept them for who they are and what they are, and try to bring them up to how my mother did for me. My mother pushed me to the four winds, is what they say. So to go out there, when we had an argument one day, And she's chasing me around the house with a wooden spoon at the age of 21. Get out to that church and make some friends. And I came back a different person.
Yeah.
And that started me off. And I went through a number of different churches over my life, my time, but then I'll come back to one that's accepting, because we have a friendship club with people with different disabilities, and that's been going for over 40 years. So we embrace that. And that's why the diocese actually literally launched their program at our church, because we have that already in place. So people know I have autism and stuff, and they just love me and accept me. So the one thing that you can do for your child, teenager, adult, is to love them and accept them and to help them flourish and grow. And you want to make them into an independent adult. So start teaching them what you already know and get them to do the house chores, get them to take the garbage out or the rubbish out or whatever the bins. Get them to go shopping with you so they can tolerate the lights and the music. Help them, I need some bananas, or I need some tomatoes, or can you go and get this for me in this aisle? Or can you get me some laundry detergent or something? Get them to help you. Scan the items. That's what we do on a regular basis, right? Let's go shopping again. And this is the Aspectism for teens and adults actually does this.
Yeah.
And the employment goes through of setting up the employment ones. There's one there for families, one there for employers. The family ones go right through, like, set them up an email address for life, show them how to use it, ask them what they want to do. I want to get a job, but what do you want to do? I want to drive a car. I want to get married. I want to do this. I want to do that. But what do you actually physically want to do with your life? And I don't know. So they've got to be guided in the steps that they want to do. So for me now, it's just working in my business, hopefully making some money from that and getting speaking engagements, which is something I love to do. But for them, it's like going through a disability employment agency, or now an Inclusive Employment Australia agency, IEA, going through the steps, meeting the support officer. What do you want to do? Go through the steps. That book actually helps them to understand that. The employees one is embracing that in neurodiversity in their workplace.
Yeah.
Taking someone on in the workplace, and then following the steps to removing the barriers for those who've got autism or neurodiverse in their workplace also.
So, Kerryn, you've done so much in autism and you've written 4 books. Six books, sorry. 6 books, yeah. So when you look back how far you've come, what are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? Achieving that?
Yeah.
That's been a massive, big achievement. Even last year, during the tumultuous time I had, I was reviewing 2 course books and writing one from scratch as well.
Oh, that's great.
It's running the business and doing the speaking engagements. Even last year, just empowers me. I just want to do more.
Yeah. And just
what
on
I'm most proud of
is your business. So that's what you're most proud of. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but achieving the unknown, that what I didn't think I could do myself, because everyone labels you as having a disability or autism.
Yeah.
And they see you as being impaired, not being prepared or empowered, prepared or whatever. But it's more that I've done what I think I never thought I would achieve what I have, and learning the skills that I now know, which I wish I would have known when I was a child, so I wouldn't have had that difficulty.
So when you really look at it, Kerryn, you've achieved a lot of things in your life. A lot of things in your life that a lot of people without autism haven't even achieved. So you've actually excelled it as a human being. So good on you. So what
Yes,
brings
I have.
yeah. So what brings you most joy in your daily life right now?
Um, what brings joy? Watching the sunsets.
Yeah.
Um, going to a beach and watching sunsets. I'm looking now at tropical beach with some palm trees and a swing over a beach. So that's where I'd love to be.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A picnic in the park with some friends.
Yeah.
Being with some friends that or taking them out or entertaining. Sometimes I love to entertain. Love to watch freight trains go by in the country, so I love to do that. What brings me joy? Doing puppets and bit of drama at church, doing sound. I've
Yeah.
been doing sound, audio behind the desk and working with a full band tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that because it's something I haven't done in a long time.
Oh, that's exciting.
Working together in teams, working
Yeah.
together, and that's working
Excellent.
together with all these musicians. It taught me to be part of a team, and I'm not singled out. And I keep thinking back to where I used to be, where I wasn't
Yeah.
accepted. I was sitting out on the sideline or outside the circle, sort of thing.
Yeah. So
Um,
just on that, Kerryn, if you could go back now and talk to your younger self, what would you tell her about the life she's going to build?
I tell her that it's okay. It's going to be okay. I never knew about it. It's going to be okay. You're going to get over this and you're going to achieve dreams and goals that you never thought you would imagine.
Mm.
And the things that you will do that I've done, I can't show you them. You'll have to learn that yourself.
Mm.
But you'll have to build your own dreams and achieve your own goals. But you can do it. You'll be able to do it, and you'll be able to do anything you want to do in life, and you can achieve your own dreams and goals like I've done.
Yeah.
So even though life's been sad for you, and you've had all this bullying and torment and torture, basically it's all torture and work, and you haven't been employed because nobody's understood you and given you a fair go. You've achieved the dreams and goals that you never realised or thought possible because you've you hit a milestone, and then you want to hit another milestone. You're taking the baby steps to get there and achieve that. So
Yeah.
you
So just on your dreams, Kerryn, you mentioned before you want to become a well-known public speaker like Temple Garden. What do you think makes your voice and your story unique to others?
I feel like I stand out
Mm-hmm.
because I speak from the gut intuition, and not many people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that gut intuition, once it's alive and gets started and gets kicked in,
Yeah.
brings advice from the deep part of your body, but the deep unknown that no one realizes, and it's really
Yeah.
quite correct. So
It's
what
authentic.
I want to do, yeah. So I want to bring to people that unique ability to speak from an unknown perspective, which not many people do because they all speak from memory. They speak from working with children on the spectrum. They speak from books.
Yeah.
They speak from their experiences, but it's the more lived experience that's more empowering than anything else. And I feel like I can bring to the table much more than what people expect
Yeah.
or they ever thought of me doing.
Yeah. And just on that, Kerryn, for someone listening who's on the spectrum or feels unseen, what's your message of encouragement to them today?
Don't give up hope. Live your dream. Because if you don't do it, you'll never get there.
Yeah.
You've got to do what's right, what feels right for you, and you've got to learn from your mistakes. You've got to make mistakes to actually learn from them. But if you don't learn from your mistakes, you never will. But you've got to do what feels right for you. People can give you advice and point you in the right direction, but that may be the wrong way about going to do it. And it's okay to seek advice. Some people give good advice and you think, yeah, I'll go down that path for a bit, and no, that doesn't work. Or I'll do this thing and yeah, it might work for a bit, but I'll do this, and that is better for me in the long run. So never give up hope and never give up on life, because you'll find your purpose in life.
Yeah.
Like me, when I was 19, my sister got married and had her first child, who's now 33 and is about to retire from her job of 35 years, and found her now husband of 35 years, 30 years or whatever. I moved out of home and I had nothing. I had no purpose in life. And my screen was as black as my mind was as black as this Zoom screen here, and that's how I felt. And I just wanted to kill myself because I had nothing to live for. I had no purpose in life. I felt that I couldn't do anything because I didn't have instructions, and the daily routine that I live now, I didn't have instructions and things in front of me that I could look forward to achieving. And I had to work hard to get there where I was, from where I was to where I am now. But it took me time to learn and deal with that situation, and that was sometimes it was overwhelming, but sometimes it was it made me feel good to know that was over. The door was closed and I could walk on and move and wait for the next thing. I'm in between doors, door closed and here, door closed here, and one just step in. But never give up on life, because if you do, you'll never face the opportunities that come your way. The once in a lifetime opportunities you've got to grab with both hands. And if you don't grab it now, it'll never happen again, which is what I've learned. Yeah. Take it with both hands and hold it as much as you can and live in that moment the best way you can, because otherwise people see you and deem you as a failure, like they did with me, and they write you off. But you don't worry about them, because what you need to do is walk on with your head held high, and you walk on forward on the path of life that you choose. Hopefully it's the right one. You walk on to the wrong path. Keep on the right path of life. Don't get into any trouble with the law, because if you do, then that will damage your reputation and your will, sometimes your will to go on in life.
Yeah, great advice, Kerryn. Absolutely.
Keep living a good life.
Yeah.
Keep living the good life. Keep walking on the straight path. Don't get involved in criminal activity at all. Keep yourself out of mischief and keep living your good life and walk on the straight path that you're destined, you're meant to. Yeah. And you will achieve your goals and things that you were meant to do in the first place. But don't give up life, because if you do, don't give up hope, because you can do it. You can achieve your dreams and goals, but it's up to you to do it. You've got to work your way through that. Yeah. You can't. Fabulous. Nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah, fabulous advice, Kerryn, and you are a living achievement yourself. Look how far you've come with your experience, and now you're using that experience and written 6 books and helping others to understand it. So fabulous advice, Kerryn. And finally, how can people connect with you, Kerryn, and watch your videos or learn more about your courses and advocacy work?
So they can get onto my website, which is https://ktalk.au, not .com.au. And if they look up KTalk.au on YouTube, it's all one word, KTalk.au, then they can learn more about the training and training videos I put up there. They can contact me via the Contact Us page on the website. Yeah. my phone number's there if they want to make an appointment or book an appointment. They can contact me by email. I'm happy to meet with them either on Zoom or Teams if they're interstate, or meet them here in Victoria somewhere. But if they want, they just go to the shop section of the website and then click on the courses. And there's 2 options there: to book me for a training session or to look at the courses, and they can actually do them online. If they purchase them all, they'll get the videos, training videos, the quizzes, and all the actual course book there. So
wonderful.
to go through the shop section, and there's some links there on the homepage as well.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be lots of people looking up your website and going to those resources, Kerryn, because you're a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, I jolly hope they do.
You're a wealth of knowledge in this space. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're a wealth of knowledge, and you should be so
I
proud.
jolly hope they do. I'm dying desperate for work and desperate for money at the moment. So if I can get some work out of this, then that would be really great. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Wonderful, Kerryn. Well, Kerryn's story is a reminder that purpose doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistent heart and courage to show up as you are. Through her advocacy, education, and creativity, Kerryn is showing the world that autism isn't about limitation. It's a different way of seeing, feeling, and sharing light with others. You can follow Kerryn's work and watch her YouTube channel to learn more about autism awareness, empowerment, and power of never giving out. This is Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis, reminding you that every story matters and every story can spark understanding. Sending you all love and positive vibes. Bye for now. And thank you, Kerryn. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today and your life story, and letting us understand a little bit more about the autism spectrum. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Anytime. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
You're most welcome, Kerryn. Bye for now.
Bye.